All this week on Dateline Schools, we're taking a look at student behavior in the classroom and how we're helping teachers, supporting teachers in dealing with some of the issues that they're facing today. And to tell us all about it, my special guest is Natalie Adair. She's an intervention specialist here at St. Clair County RESA. And yesterday, Natalie, when you're talking about what you're doing and the whole issue of behavior in the classroom, one word that kind of jumped out at me was the word trauma. Our kids are really seeing a whole lot more in their lives today than even when you and I were young.
Very true, and we've also done a much better job learning about trauma and how trauma affects learning behavior in the brain and how that's all working together. We define childhood trauma as any student between the ages of 0 to 17, so that's really looking at our population that we're servicing here right now in public schools. We define trauma as any event that really has occurred or any set of series of events or ongoing events that child is exposed to that may do some physical or emotional damage or harm or concern for that student, and then how that child deals with that over time. We this year were very fortunate to start off our professional development series by bringing in Stephanie Grant, who's been a national speaker and a state speaker who really talked about early childhood and trauma and what that looks like in our young children. And then in January, we're bringing in Dr. Soma from Star Commonwealth, which is a well-known agency in Michigan that talks about looking at the differences between ADHD and trauma, because many times our teachers or our school professionals are looking at it as attention deficit when it really is trauma-based, because initially some of those symptoms and signs can present similarly. So we're really looking at helping schools to dig deeper to figure out what are some setting events or what are some strategies or what are some things that we can do to help students and staff be successful in schools.
Just having that information and understanding what the students may be seeing in their life outside of the classroom really changes the strategy a teacher needs to use.
Yeah, it really does, Terry. And I was just looking at some statistics. 1 in every 4 children attending in the school age has been exposed to a traumatic event. So 1 in 4, if you look at that population on an average size of a classroom, that's multiple kids that have some relationship related back to trauma. So that's why we need to do a really good job. The statistics also go on to say that 70% of children living in inner city neighborhoods are exposed to chronic toxic stress. So we know it's something that we need to definitely address to have better learning and educational environments for our students.
We'll be back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.